If there's any open seats in any of your rows, kind of scooch in and fill those. We got a full house, so we got to fit as many people in here as possible. Thank you.
Okay, check, check, check. Here we go. Well, hello, College of Engineering class of 2027. Hello, everyone. My name's Jerome Lavelle. I'm Associate Dean of Academic Affairs in the college. And on behalf of our entire NC State Engineering College of Engineering Wolfpack family, I'd like to just welcome all of you so much to this, your first semester on campus, the fall of 2023. We're delighted that you're here. We know that you're happy. We know that you're excited. And we know that you're ready to go. You may be wondering or asking yourself, why we have brought you together here in this ballroom today and this afternoon. And I'll share with you a couple of the reasons. First, we wanted to make sure that you survived move-in day. First day of classes. I know there can be a lot of stress there, traffic and a lot of that kind of stuff. And that you're surviving Wolfpack Welcome Week. How's Wolfpack Welcome Week? How's everything going? And then also, we received individual calls from each of your mothers asking us to check in on you. So we're doing a little bit of that today as well. No, we wanted to have an opportunity for you to get together as a class. And we began this 23 years ago as a way for our entering class to start to think of yourself as a community. That you get to see the breadth of this first year class. These fantastic young people that are all engaged in this opportunity. That together you'll work and you'll play and you'll study and you'll grow. And the enormity of what we have here in terms of what you're going to bring to class, to campus, your passions, the things that you're going to achieve, and then moving from this university out and making a great impact in this state and beyond. We wanted to get you focused or refocused on why you're here, that you are all scholars. I talked about this in new student orientation. That's your job. You're now scholars in engineering and computer science here in our college within this community of scholars. That's what we're doing. You're scholars in our community of scholars whose values are things like respect, intellectual curiosity, integrity, mutual support. We talked about these things in new student orientation, and those are going to be reinforced in your first year courses in E102 and E101 as we go through this first year. You're going to have an opportunity to meet some new people. You'll meet our new College of Engineering Dean, Dr. Jim Fentner. You'll meet our special guest, our keynote speaker, Anna Davis, who's a chemical engineering grad of this institution. And she's going to speak with you about her journey and some of her secrets of success and some important things from her perspective, now doing the great things she's doing with Syngenta. And I'll just mention to you early on that after she speaks, there's going to be an opportunity for some questions and answers. So as we're going along here, think of some questions that you might want to ask Anna. We're also meeting today to give you an opportunity to meet some of your fellow students. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do exactly that. Some of you walked over with your suite mates or your roommates, and hopefully you've met them by now. But what we're going to do is I'm going to have you stand, make eye contact with somebody who you do not know, and for 30 seconds you're going to say hello, tell them who you are, where you're from, high school, a few little tidbits. We'll do it for 30 seconds, and then we'll find somebody else for 30 seconds. All right, so everybody stand. Stand, stand, stand. Let's put the house lights up if we can. All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Meet somebody new. Okay, 1, 2, 3, stop. Stay standing, please. Make eye contact with another person who you have not talked to. Another minute. 1, 2, 3, go. Meet somebody else new. Okay, 1, 2, 3, stop. Very great. Everybody, please take a seat. That was fantastic. So, students, what did we just model? We just modeled the fact that you do not have to do this thing by yourself. There are 1,800 other first-year engineering students who are in your class, the graduating class of 2027. And although we have great instructors and we have great TAs, we have wonderful support people in our first-year programs in each one of our departments and other units on campus, you have a powerful resource, which is your class, your colleagues, your new friends, those new engineering and computer science students that you've entered this great institution with. So use the study groups that we're going to be offering you, your accountability buddies for attending class and mental health things. Do those perspective stretchers and meeting new people and going to mixers. And don't stay in a shell. We want you to get out there and embrace this time you have here at NC State. Now, before I introduce our new dean, and who's going to share some great thoughts with you, I'd like to talk to you about this notion of getting off to a good start. You know, anytime you're involved in something, isn't it great to get off to a good start? And this is a pretty important new thing that you're involved with, which is your engagement at this institution of higher education. And so I would love for all of you to get off to a good start. Here's some thoughts. So think about the energy and the excitement that you feel right now in this first week. And coming here and being here and all of that excitement, your goals, your passion, your motivation, use those to purpose. Plan the things that you're going to engage yourself in. Plan the work, but then work that plan. We talked about engagement. We did a little simulation here today. Develop and find outlets for new people, new passions, new experiences, new opportunities. There are so many on campus. I want to talk to you about health. Be proactive with your health and those around you. Support each other. Use resources like our Career Center, our Counseling Center, the CARES reporting process, the RAs in your dorms, your instructors and TAs. If you see someone or if you yourself are struggling, reach out. During the first year program, again, talked a little bit about this as new student orientation, but we want you to be thinking broadly in this first year. We want you to diverge in your thinking in terms of majors and opportunities and those things that are out there. Don't cement yourself into one mindset in the first week. Think broadly. We have such a host of things that this college offers for you to engage in. During that first year in E1 and E101 and E102, you're going to, at some point, you'll converge on a discipline and you'll coda into a discipline, sure. But for now, be thinking broadly. And I mentioned CODA. I want to say this to all of you very earnestly. Do not stress about CODA. Work hard, do your best, learn and apply yourself, develop your interests, and CODA will happen with no problem for you. We started CODA about 10 years ago. And we've had in those 10 years, probably about 15,000 students graduate who started and went through our CODA process. And if you're going to talk to those 15,000 students, I don't think one of them would say to you, boy, I'm glad I stressed about CODA. They're going to say to you, listen, do the things where you're developing your interest, where you're working hard, where you're applying yourself, and CODA will take care of itself. I have this great guy, Dr. Dave Parrish, who runs CODA, and he will take advantage of those kinds of things that you're interested in, and we'll get you in a place where you can be successful. Trust me on that. I also want to talk to you about dedication. So never miss class. Build your network. Have grit. Do those things that you need to do to be successful. We have about 1,000 students in engineering summer camps each summer, and some of you may have attended some of our summer camps. And you know, in summer camps, there are a lot of things we do. We talk about engineering as being an exciting discipline and all the wonderment and the things that engineers are working on and solving to make the world a better place. We also talk about engineering habits of mind, the engineering design cycle, and one of the important things, and this is from kindergarten all the way up through our high school curriculum, we talk about is the value of failure is part of the engineering process. Failure is an opportunity to evaluate, reevaluate, to design and redesign, to change and implement, and ultimately improve and succeed. So if you encounter a little bit of underperformance, or maybe a little failure, or a little rocky road during this first semester, this first year, that's just an opportunity for you to learn, reassess, and do better. I said this during new student orientation to all of the students that were gathered there. At NC State and the College of Engineering, you don't have to be perfect. What we want you to do is work hard, apply yourself, and good things are going to happen. And so in the spirit of setting goals, of dedication, grit, hard work, I invite all of our students to please stand at this point in time and join me in a little personal pledge that we're going to do. So everybody stand again, up on your feet. I will spare you from putting your hand on your heart or holding your hand in the air, but let's repeat after me. I do sincerely profess my solemn commitment to making the necessary effort to set explicit goals and work to my ability to achieve them. I further commit to my own health and supporting the health of those around me. Go Wolfpack. Please take a seat. Thank you, guys. Way to go. All right. We're ready to go. You ready? You're committed. You are ready to go now. A last few words. Woody Allen, who you may or may not know, is attributed to saying that 90% of success in life is just showing up. So College of Engineering, graduating class of 2027, I implore you to show up. But not only show up, but show everyone who you are. That you can achieve the potential that exists within each and every one of you. To our newest engineering family members, that's what we want for you. That's what we expect from you. We wish you much success, much happiness, much personal and professional growth during your time here at NC State. I want you to know that we are in this together. We love you, and we couldn't be more happier to walk alongside of you during this journey. To the class of 2027, College of Engineering welcomes you. How about a big round of applause? Okay, just as you are new students, we have a new dean this year in the College of Engineering. We're very excited about our new dean. He's been on the job 3 weeks, and he has already set the tone that this college will continue to aspire to and to achieve its goals and excellence in all we do. Please join me with a rowdy welcome for our new Dean, Dr. Jim Fentner.
Good afternoon, everybody. As the Dean of the College of Engineering, it is my honor to welcome you, the Engineering and Computer Science class of 2027. Before I give you some remarks, I'd also like to just take a moment to acknowledge the incredibly hard work by Dean Jerome Lavelle, BK, all of the engineering ambassadors, and everybody behind the scenes to make this event possible. Let's give them a big round of applause. You might have heard, you just did from Dean Lavelle, that I have something in common with you. I've only been here 3 weeks. In fact, most of you probably know a lot more about NC State than I do, so I'm looking forward to learning a lot from you. I have received an incredibly warm welcome over the past 3 weeks, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this is my dream job. I am so thrilled to be here and so excited to work with you all. And we are so excited to have you here at NC State, and so grateful that you've chosen the College of Engineering to pursue an engineering degree or a computer science degree as your major and career path. I know that each of you has worked incredibly hard to reach your goal of getting here, and that you all have an incredibly exciting few years ahead of you. College will change you forever. I still remember my college days. Talk to any of us afterward. It is such an important and special time, and I'm really excited to be part of that with you all. You're going to leave us as a changed person in a few years, armed with the skills to be successful at whatever you choose to do post-graduation. And what an awesome place to train and grow as an engineer or computer scientist. If you were reading the slide that was up here a few minutes ago, you saw all kinds of impressive statistics about NC State engineering. We're making incredible strides in rankings, growth in enrollment, new research, new facilities. We are one of the preeminent colleges in the nation of engineering, and now you're one of us. It's fantastic. We're also growing. You may have heard about Engineering North Carolina's future. Over the next 6 or 7 years, we hope to grow the College of Engineering by 40%. That's super exciting. We want to meet the demands of the state, and we are incredibly grateful for all that the state of North Carolina does to provide resources so that we can give you a high-class education and all the great experiences and have that individual personal touch that all of our alumni have come to know and love. I also recognize that starting at a top college of engineering can feel a little daunting. Sometimes those statistics can be a little intimidating, and you might find yourself experiencing different kind of discomfort than you've become accustomed to as you stretch and grow. When I meet new college students that I have personal responsibility for, and now that includes all of you, now that I'm your Dean of Engineering, I like to share 3 things to help center your experience and help you think about what's coming. Number 1, you belong here. Number 2, you are safe. And number 3, intellectual struggle is an essential part of learning. So let me quickly dive into a little bit of those before we get to our speaker. Do me a favor. Right now, everybody look to your left. Look at the person to the left. Do it. I can tell if you're doing it or not. Now look to the right. Here's the awesome thing. Every one of you in this room has a spot in NC State College of Engineering. You are going to earn a degree in engineering or computer science. We picked you for a reason. You individually earned your spot here. You deserve to be here. And I want you to know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, you belong here, and we could not be more excited to welcome you. Now next, one of the reasons that I love college so much and that I've remained working in higher ed is because of what happens to your brain and the formative experience you are all embarking upon right now. Most adults have cemented most of their beliefs about the world by the time they reach their mid-20s. And most of you have just left living at home with a family full time and are kind of getting out on your own right now. This is maybe your first week living away from family. So what does that mean? These next 4 years are going to be critical. You're going to be confronted with so many new ideas, and I'm so excited about this. You're going to see lots of new perspectives. You're going to talk to so many different people. And in fact, you're going to disagree with a lot of those ideas. You're going to disagree with a lot of those perspectives. And that is not only okay, it is fantastic. It is fantastic. One of the most important things you can do on your way to becoming an engineering leader in the future is to learn how to appreciate and understand people with different worldviews, people who are different from you. And college is just an awesome melting pot and an awesome time to do that. So I want you to dig into those hard conversations, be okay having a little bit of discomfort, And if your thoughts sometimes start to get away from you, I want you to remember those thoughts are yours. You own them. They are inside of you in your heart and mind. And controversial ideas don't need to be something that gets you carried away, because here at NC State University, in the College of Engineering, we are going to arm you with all kinds of tools for working in teams, working collaboratively, and learning how to work with all kinds of different people. As I like to say frequently, college is one of the easiest places in the world to take a risk because we have so many safety nets to catch you. And finally, I just want to address this idea and this concept of struggling in your learning. Especially in the classroom, I think it is essential that we remind students constantly the value and important part of struggle in changing your brain and helping you learn new things. This is science, it's not just belief. Now I want you to do me a favor. When I call something out, raise your hands and keep it up the whole time. Who's ever learned a musical instrument? Foreign language? Who's ever improved their ability in a sport? What about work to become physically stronger? What about any other type of self-care, self-improvement? Who's learned to be good at a video game or a board game? What about acquiring a new skill at your job if you worked a lot? Look around y'all, this is everybody in the room. Everybody in the room knows what I'm talking about intrinsically. You've experienced it, you've already done it. Yeah, let's clap, go ahead. Good job. So, you already know what kind of effort is required to put forth to grow and learn. Why would an engineering degree or a computer science degree be any different? It is not. And the good news is, you've already had that experience. You have those well-worn grooves in your brain and your heart. You're gonna do it. But sometimes it's easy to forget that when we're having fun in the classroom. You see somebody next to you, maybe they aced a test, you didn't. That happened to me. I got zeros on exams when I was in college, and look at me. They were foolish enough to hire me as your dean. So the cool thing I want to close this part sharing with you is some cultures around the world, I don't think we do a great job of it in this country, but other cultures, they identify the person in the classroom who struggles intellectually the most, and they celebrate that. They win at learning because they've come the farthest. Think about how cool that is. As we step into the academic year, many or all of you will face academic and intellectual struggles while you tackle your classes, build relationships, and pursue your dreams. That's okay. I want you to remember that you're one wolf pack. I want you to have each other's backs and hold each other up, remembering that this effort is such an important part of your scholarly work and your advanced coursework. You are not alone, but you're intellectually struggling together as a team. So, transitioning out of this part, I also want to be crystal clear here. This idea of intellectual struggle and pursuit of scholarly work is entirely different than suffering. We want you to work hard. Nobody on this campus or in this College of Engineering wants you to suffer. And this is really personal to me. I've experienced symptoms of depression since I was a teenager, and I've been diagnosed with a condition called major depressive disorder, or MDM. Now, everybody finds their own way to living with MDM. Looks different for everybody else. But for me, this means the management of my symptoms means taking medication, regular therapy with a trained counselor, and a pretty higher than usual focus on exercise and rest. That's why I've just accepted the role of the NC State CrossFit Club faculty advisor. So come work out with us some night. Email me if you want to know when we work out. I work to build guardrails in my life and try my best to avoid suffering, and this can often take up a lot of extra time, and that's okay. I've gradually come to accept that this is an important part of my identity, and it's something that actually makes me stronger and more able to help other people. Now, I'm pretty good at statistics, as a chemical engineer, and the data tell me that more likely than not, there's a few people, or maybe more than a few people in this room, who have experience with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, or other issues. If you identify with this, know that you're not alone. You have a dean who's walking this road with you, who cares about you and believes in you. And just by sitting here today, all of you now know a little more about the lived experience of at least one person who identifies as disabled due to challenges with mental health. I encourage you to reflect on this later and see if that might have shifted your worldview just a little bit. So as you move forward with success, knowing that you are safe, working together in productive intellectual struggle, I also hope you'll take advantage of everything this great university has to offer. Look into study abroad opportunities, join a club, participate in our engineering career fair that happens twice a year, where we will bring people to you who are desperate to hire Wolfpack engineers. Whichever path you choose and whatever you do after graduation, We are so invested in your success, and we will do anything it takes to help you reach your dreams. I promise you. So each year, we invite to this event a keynote speaker to share with the first-year class a little bit about their experiences when they were here at NC State, what they learned, and how they applied it to their life after graduation. This year, we are excited to be joined by Anna P. Davis. Anna received a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering here at NC State in 1989. I'm also a chemical engineer, so I was thrilled when I learned this. In her current role, she heads up Health, Safety, and Environment, or HSE, in North America for Syngenta, a global agriculture company. She manages Syngenta's corporate HSE program, which cover a wide array of business units, including ingredient manufacturing, product formulation, seeds operations, and commercial sales. She also serves as a Global HSE Business Partner for the seeds development business and is responsible for developing strategic programs to deliver breakthrough HSE performance globally. Using her Chem E degree, Anna has had a number of exciting positions at great companies, including Advanced Micro Devices and Dow Chemical, among other roles. Anna is a native of Spain, and she was recognized in 2005 with the Hispanic Engineer National Achievement Award for Professional Achievement in Industry. And in 2019, she was elected as a member of the Board of Directors of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, or AICHE, and later this year, she will run for AICHE Treasurer in the upcoming election. So if you're thinking about Chem E, join your professional society and get ready to vote for Anna. It's important. She's also a distinguished alumna of our Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. Please join me in offering a warm welcome to Anna Davis.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Boy, they didn't tell me it would be such a big crowd, so I'm going to take a deep breath here, get a little oxygen, and let's get rocking and rolling. First of all, thank you for the warm welcome. It's really humbling to be here today with the best class we've had in the College of Engineering, the class of 2027. Congratulations. You are exactly where you need to be. And frankly, I'm a little jealous because I want to be in your shoes. What a lot of people don't tell you on day one is that these next 4 years are going to be the best 4 years of your life. Someone told me recently that they wish they had known it was going to be the best 4 years of their life because they would have done things a little bit differently. So my role here today is to talk a little bit about something that I think you're going to really enjoy. Tips for living your best life. Who wants to live their best life over the next 4 years? Thank you. Me too. All right, so let's rock and roll. So you're probably wondering how Anna Davis made her way to NC State. Well, I'm originally from Spain, came to this country when I was just under 12 years of age, and I spoke 3 words: hot, cold, and hamburger. I'm not really sure why those 3 were the only words that I could remember from the English classes that I took the summer before I moved. But some way, luckily enough, I made my way to North Carolina State, where I started as a biochemist, and then my father, that happened to be here in the audience today cheering me on, really encouraged me to go into engineering. My dad was the very first engineer I ever met, and he said, you know what, you can do anything the boys could do. It's for all the ladies in the audience. This guy believed in me long before I believed in myself. And it was in the chemical engineering department and thermodynamics class that I met the love of my life. Yes, that is the second law of thermodynamics up on the screen, and that is where I met John, a really great study partner. He was a straight A student, and I was a good, solid B student, so I definitely married up. Got my Chem E and my MRS degree from NC State, and went on to have 3 amazing children, 2 of which sat exactly where you are today not too long ago. My oldest daughter is living her best life in Portland, working at her dream company, Nike, as a chemical and textile engineering from NC State. And my son is also living his best life, working for Merck Pharmaceuticals with a chemical engineering degree with a biomanufacturing concentration from NC State. So I guess you'd say that the Wolfpack engineering family is very much embedded in all that we do. And you're probably wondering what that random number is down there below the picture of my family. That is a picture of my family and a trip that we took to Machu Picchu. That number, 3626, is a number that brings up a lot of laughters in my family. How many of you like donuts? How many of you like to run? Well, my oldest daughter still holds the running club record for the fastest Krispy Kreme challenge run with a time of 36:26. For all you fellows that are wondering what the time is for the male category, that's 31:11. So if you want to know the engineering tactics that she used to get to 36:26, ask me in the Q&A. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how we live our best life. I always approach things from an athletic point of view, right? What's the game that we're trying to play here? What is the game of life like? What does success look like? Because if you know what the journey looks like, we can equip ourselves with all of the tools that we need to successfully navigate. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking about life in a linear way. We set a goal, we meet it, on to the next. Friends, life, success, the journey doesn't look anything like that. It's convoluted, it's curvy, it's bumpy, there's ups and downs. And slowly and surely, we inch our way up and we grow. And I got a little secret for you. Because when you look at that curve out there, it really plays to the strengths of engineers. Because life is nothing more than a series of engineering challenges that we have to solve every single day. So if you approach life from a problem-solving perspective, guess what? The dean has already said, you've got what it takes. You got here. You belong here. You have the skills. So life, if you look at it, really is not that challenging if we can apply the right tools to our task. So, let me start out by talking a little bit about the first thing I want you to think about. When I get up in the morning, I have a tremendous sense of purpose. And I was thinking when they were reading my bio a few minutes ago that probably all of you were thinking, wow, this is this lady, some corporate person up here. I'm actually a human being that has a lot of interests. And being an engineer is only a very small part of who I am. So I want you to think for a second, who are you beyond a student at NC State? For me, I'm a daughter, I'm a mom, I'm an athlete, okay? I'm a mentor. I'm passionate about STEM education. Engineering is just a very small part of my life. Why is this important? It's important because in the days in which my engineering life is not going nearly as well, I've got lots of other things that are going well in my life. And so it really dilutes, it really dilutes the impact that it has on my overall health and well-being. So let me ask you, how many of you have signed up for clubs already? Went to RecFest maybe, anybody? How many of you are getting ready to go? I think there's a session tomorrow, is it? For clubs, anybody? Okay, here's the thing. Little secret for you. We want you to engage yourselves beyond the classroom. Companies like Syngenta are not going to hire someone that all they do is study for 4 years and poke their little heads up from the notebook on year 4. We want to see students that are engaged, tried new things, met new people, did other things beyond studying. Studying is a really important component, but we want you to grow. So here's the thing. It's an easy equation. We want you to study hard. Okay, we got that. We want you to go have fun, join some clubs. Okay, and you're going to be more employable. It's a winning combination for everybody. So if you're a little shy about signing up for a club, there's 700 clubs, I'm told. And if you don't like one of those 700, you can always start your own, like my kids did. So don't be shy, take a chance, and have the courage to sign up for something that's going to bring a smile to your face. So, it's not, for me, not having just a sense of purpose in my life with all these other things that I do, but I do have a sense of purpose as an engineer. And, the world really is your oyster. You just have to find the pearl. When you were applying to NC State College of Engineering and you checked the box, why engineering? I'm guessing a lot of you like math, science, anybody like puzzles, Legos, all that good stuff? Right. That's why we're here, right? Because we are living and working towards something that's bigger than ourselves. Someone said to me not long ago that if you love what you do, you don't have to work a single day in your life. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it? So you see, if you set a goal, something that you're going to be excited about, the journey over the next 4 years, you're going to trust that process. That journey is going to be a much more pleasant and welcoming. You know, so think about, what is your dream? What is your goal? I met some amazing students that are really into space. I'm excited about what the future holds for them. But do you want to maybe design prosthetics, new types of prosthetics for people that have lost their limbs? Do you want to do research in the next pharmaceutical product that's going to save lives? Do you want to design the most sustainable building in the world? I mean, really, the world is your oyster. You just have to find that goal. So tonight in your notebook, I want you to write, what's your goal? It may change as you go through the engineering courses over the next 1 or 2 semesters, but that's okay. I want you to write it down, because when you write something down, you're more likely to achieve it. Now, you're probably wondering why there's a picture of Anna Davis holding a rat on the screen. Well, I happened to travel to Cambodia just a month ago, really life-changing trip for me, and I came across a really cool engineering solution that I thought you all might want to hear about. These rats, known as hero rats, are managed under an organization called APOPO. It's a nonprofit organization, and these rats can actually detect explosives, TNT. They can detect unexploded landmines and munitions. What's really great about these rats is that they can scour the size of like a tennis court, about the size of a tennis court in 30 minutes. The investment is $7,000, and they're less than 3 kilos, so they don't detonate the explosives. What's really amazing about this story is that this was the idea of a young man that was very passionate about rodents. Actually, he had gerbils, mice, and happened to have a Tanzanian large pouch rat as a pet, and had heard that there was some research using gerbils to detect TNT, and made it his lifelong dream to find a way to use these rodents that he was very passionate about to save lives. So just remember, that next engineering solution may be staring right at you in the form of a pet rat. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this trip to Cambodia that I took. And, traveling is a privilege and an honor to meet people from other parts of the world and other cultures. And it was during that trip that I got to thinking about all of you. And I learned something about life in a Cambodian village that I thought all of you would appreciate. Happiness to people in Cambodia comes from helping other people. It's a very organic and natural thing that they do. They're very selfless. It's all about, if I help you, it makes me happy, and that's what this is about. And when I saw the way that these people lived, it reminded me that the strength of the wolf is in the pack. This really is the best kept secret at NC State. And unless you've been a student here or an alumni here, the others don't understand. Those other universities up the road, they don't understand that. Now, each of you as an individual are very strong, but 1,800 strong, that, my friends, is a storm. But there comes an obligation when we talk about the strength of the wolf being in the pack, right? Before I share that with you, I want to talk a little bit about this picture that I have here on the screen. This woman is an 82-year-old woman that weaves baskets for a living. Each of those baskets she can weave in 30 minutes. She uses her feet to tighten the weave of the basket. It's an extremely physical and difficult task. She sells the baskets for 40 cents at the local market. We were asking her through the translator, like, what do you do when you have a big order of baskets? And she thought it was a funny question because she said, I had an order for 100 baskets last week. All my friends, my neighbors came over to help me because that's what we do. He thought it was an unusual question because that is how they work. But you know, when we talk about the strength of the wolf, there comes an obligation to care for one another. And what I'm going to tell you might be counter to everything you've ever been taught as a little child. I want you to remember these 4 words wherever you go in the next 4 years and beyond. How are you doing? I want you to say this with me. All right. So, we've been taught as little children that we should not meddle in people's business. That sound familiar? Uh-huh. You're being nosy. You shouldn't ask. That's their problem. That's not your business. That's the way that we've been taught. Okay? But that's not the way it should work. And I know this for a fact, that when you ask someone how they are doing, it can save someone's life. It can change someone's life. You know, it wasn't too long ago, I was managing COVID-19 for my company, one of the most difficult assignments of my entire career. It did not come with a recipe book. All I knew is that the lives of 5,000 people relied on the protocols that I was establishing for them. We had as many as 11,000 workers during peak season, including some young students that work in the fields and are bused to pollinate our fields. So it was a job that weighed very heavily on me, okay? And it was about the time of the Omicron variant. You all remember that lovely second wave. We all thought it was over. And for some reason, one of our most senior leaders in North America realized that Anna Davis was not her peppy, happy self. So I got a call on a Friday afternoon, and to be honest with you, I didn't want to pick up the phone, because usually when he called, he would challenge me, let's say. I picked up the phone, and this gentleman said, "Hey, Anna, how are you doing?" And I said, yeah, I'm fine. What can I do for you? Everything okay? Yeah, everything's good. I'm actually calling because I can't imagine how you're feeling right now. I mean, the thought of doing this gig another year, I know it doesn't feel good, Anna, but I want you to know you're not alone. We have your back. You and your team are doing an amazing job, and guess what? We got this. But I'm going to ask you again, Anna, how are you doing? And that is when I had the courage to say, frankly, I want my day job back. Can I please have my regular job back? You know, that call meant a lot to me. 20 minutes, the most senior leader in North America taking the time to ask me how I was doing. You know, that evening, I went on a run because that is what I did when I managed COVID for Syngenta, and I took this picture. I saw a rose bush. I was running through the neighborhood, and I got to thinking about the fact how much it meant to me that someone would take the time to ask me how I was doing. So I saw the rose bush, and you know what they say, you ought to stop and smell the roses. I'm pretty sure that I probably appeared on someone's Ring camera, but I didn't care. And I've kept this picture in my phone, and every once in a while, it's a reminder that, you know what, it's okay to smell the roses, even if they don't smell too much. The next piece of advice I want to give you is probably my favorite. When people ask me how I maintain a joyful and happy attitude, sometimes during difficult times, is because I maintain perspective while I'm in action. Now, it's difficult to explain what this means, but I love this quote. Paying attention to the world around you will help you develop the extraordinary capacity to look at the mundane and see the miraculous. So let me explain to you exactly what I mean with an example from Cambodia. So you see, one of the activities that we had a chance to partake in was an ox cart ride in Cambodia. That's right, you've heard correctly. When I was sipping a very lovely beverage, when I was asked to go on this ox cart ride, my first reaction was, oh, okay, well, I'm pretty comfortable here with my beverage. I'm not really sure I want to do that. It seems like it might be a bit unpleasant. But I decided I should go. I was greeted by this father and son that you see here in this picture that thanked me profusely for making my way to Cambodia, making my way to Siem Reap, and most importantly, visiting with both of them. They were so proud and ready to show me the way that they operate and live and move people around in their village. It was such a beautiful moment that I asked them to capture this picture of me giving you all the Wolfpack sign. I wasn't sure at that moment why I was filled with so much joy, but I knew something beautiful was about to happen. As we began to start our journey on this ox cart ride, it was peaceful and quiet. I could hear the click-clack of the ox. I could hear the wheels churning, and the insects in the background, and the rice paddies, and the sunset about to happen. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. It's amazing. Now, Anna, when you go to work every day in your luxury SUV with your air conditioning blaring, you see traffic jams, you're running out of gas, you see road rage, you see people texting and driving. Wait a minute. This is the best ride I've ever had. And you know what? There was something about when I started that journey, I had a perception of what it was going to be like. But I took the time to look and experience beyond the surface. Sometimes we're so busy, social media, phones, live, emails, you name it, that the beauty of life is staring at you in the eye, and you just never see it. And to me, this ox cart was a reminder that beauty is right there. Slow down. Don't make assumptions. Who knows? For me, every time I get into my luxury BMW, I think about this ox cart, wishing that that's where I was. And you can see the joy on my face. I took that picture, and I hope you see the feeling of joy that I had riding in this ox cart. So you see, the people of Cambodia, on the surface, some say, may not have much, but they have it all. They have each other, and they have the beauty of their country, which they appreciate every single day. Last but not least, I want to leave you with one final piece of advice, and that is the power of gratitude. Being grateful and thankful for the things that come your way. You know, I live by this motto that when I have a beautiful moment, and today happens to be one of those, there is nothing in the course of my day that can steal my beautiful moment. It's mine and mine alone. I think of it this way. If you go to an Italian restaurant and you have the best spaghetti and meatballs you ever had, the best you ever had, and 30 minutes later you get a bowl of ice cream and it's really not the right flavor, does that mean the spaghetti you just had doesn't taste any better? Absolutely not. So my spaghetti moments, my beautiful moments that I experience, I don't let anything get in the way. Not a bad meeting, not a bad grade, none of that. They're mine, and I treasure them in the course of the day. So I want to share with you 2 moments where I was filled with deep gratitude, where I thought about all of you. The first one on the right-hand side is Anna Davis and her youngest daughter, Isabel, at the Noah Kahn concert. How many Noah Kahn fans do we have in the audience? Woo! All right, guys, Dig Season, best album ever. That's our tip for today. All right, this moment of gratitude was twofold. That was my last girls' trip with my daughter before she headed to college. And I captured that moment because it was just sort of that final moment with my daughter, and I was so happy for her. But actually, the picture right above that, where I'm doing a selfie sign, yes, for all of you, is when Noah Kahn came out on the stage and he said, all right, has anyone ever felt alone? 5,900 people at the Greek Amphitheater in LA jumped up and down screaming, saying, yes, I have. Including myself, and the fact that my youngest daughter is gone has left me with a little bit of a lonely heart. But what I really appreciate is what Noah Kahn said next. He said, you know what? You're not alone. And I'm going to sing for you a song that I've never sung before. It is one of the most personal songs I have ever written about my mental health journey. And I caught that moment because it was, Noah Kahn gave us the greatest gift that anyone could have given us, just like the dean did today. to share their journey and remove the stigma of mental health. Mental health should be treated no different than physical health, all right? So I capture that moment because it really touched my heart and that of 6,000 other people that were there in that audience that night. Then on the left-hand side is a picture that I took in Angkor Wat. It's in Siem Reap, Cambodia. It is the largest religious temple, really the largest religious structure in the world, okay? There I got to see how 12th century engineers designed this structure that still stands today, how they managed to keep the corridors of this amazing complex cool in the extreme heat of Cambodia. Actually, I wasn't feeling all that hot that day, but I saw this temple here, and I asked one of my family members to take a picture of me doing the Wolfpack sign. I slowly climbed the stairs of this temple, and I stood overlooking the grandeur that is Angkor Wat. And I thought about all of you, knowing that I hadn't met you before, thinking about what will be your Angkor Wat, what will be your pearl, what will you give us 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? We don't know what that is, but what I do know, it's going to be great. And this amazing group, this amazing team at NC State is going to help you get there. It's exciting. So I leave you with one final thought. Yes, back to my favorite ride, the ox cart ride. This was the view from the back of that ox cart. The sunset, the beauty of nature, and the bumps in the road. That's right, it was pretty darn bumpy. But I want you to remember that the imperfections in the journey are simply perfect. And those bumps in the road propel us forward in ways that we can never imagine. So none of us are perfect. The journey isn't perfect. And guess what? That's the fun of it all. So as they would say in Cambodia, much love, go pack. And in my native country of Spain, we would say felicidades, abrazos, and of course, have a great time. So congratulations and hugs. Thank you.
Another big round of applause. Thank you. Okay, if we could have the house lights turned on. We have about 5 to 7 minutes for a couple questions. Students, I know some of you have 6 o'clock classes. We're going to get you out with plenty of time to get to your 6 o'clock class. Let's all just stay seated here and have a couple questions. We have some microphones. Where are the microphones? Where are the hands? Let's just yell it out. Yes, go ahead.
All right. So here's the thing. You have to sprint to the Krispy Kreme shop as quickly as you can, right? Because you're going to get a break. So you're really not racing for a 5-mile race. At that point, you're racing 2.5 miles. You got to sprint. Her technique was 3 donuts. You got to get the air out, no liquid, okay? If you start pumping liquid, you're going to be in trouble, okay? So you got to get the air out, right? So she did 3, so she did four shoves down. Okay, then here's the trick. There's a period of time in which the brain has no idea what has just transpired to your body, okay? There's that dead time, as we like to say in engineering, which means you've got to come out of that chute as quickly as you can before the brain figures out you've got a problem, okay? Now, she got about 1.5 miles out. She was clocking sub-6 on the way down, and she said right at about 1.5 miles, the brain figured out there was a problem. So the last half mile, it's all about resiliency and a lot of grit. By the way, she's gone gluten-free since then, just saying.
The problem is the brain's telling you one thing and your stomach tells you something else.
That is
That's
correct, yeah.
What questions? Other questions? Over there, just stand up and yell it out. I don't know what's going on with the mics. Just yell it out. Yell it out.
So my daughter had the dream to work for Nike when she was in high school. She was a runner. And she connected with the chemical engineering department. And one of the things they talked about was how to make that dream come true, right? And so she decided to do the chemical textile engineering double major because the textile piece was very, very important from a Nike perspective. There's not a lot of textile schools in the country, so they do recruit here. And then NC State put her in touch with an engineering manager out at Nike that had actually worked at NC State. My daughter actually reached out to her for a couple of years. And that third year, she was able to get an internship because the internships they do after they wrap up that junior year. So they do that. They only do an internship after that junior year. So a lot of persistence. To be honest with you, the textile component of her degree has really allowed her to do really, really well at Nike. So yeah, it's very, very possible. This is a good dual degree for those that are interested in Nike or Adidas or sportswear companies.
Engineering Career Fair, the Career Development Center, your EAs that are in E102, talk with those folks. We're going to have lots of folks on campus that will want to hire you for jobs next summer. Another question, right in the middle, stand up and blurt it out. Advice about the career fair.
Oh, the career fair, yeah, for sure. So obviously you're a little early, right? So don't put a lot of stress on yourself coming out of that, first summer out of college. We definitely want to see that coming out of sophomore year into junior year. We want to see experience. Corporations want to see experience. If you're going to do research one summer, suggest you go non-research the second summer, unless you're really serious about pursuing a PhD. I've had a lot of students that say, hey, people are not looking at me. Well, because you've done a lot of research and you didn't have some of the more traditional industry experience. What I like to do is differentiate and focus your resume on achievements and use very strong words. Don't use the word assisted, coordinated, and helped. I want you to use I led, I supported, I developed. Strong words that are result-oriented and show what you're capable of, okay? And if you have any leadership experience, note it down as well. We want to see that, even if it's, in whatever you're doing, clubs, leadership in clubs, and we want to see engagement in other activities beyond the classroom.
We have time for one more question. Who has a question? Right down here. Stand up and let's hear it. Oh, we got a mic on the scene. Here we go.
All right. What about chemical engineering made you decide that this was the field that you wanted to work in for the rest of your life?
Oh my goodness. I started as a biochemistry major, worked in a lab, and I was really, really lonely, okay? Really lonely, and I realized that as much as I really had a big dream to solve the cure to AIDS. That's what I was going to do. That was back in the 80s. And I really still love the idea of chemistry, and my dad actually sat down with my dad and started plotting out how I could pursue my love of chemistry and in a different way. And chemical engineering kind of popped up. And it's an amazing degree. A lot of people go on to go to law school. They go on to go medical school. And the beauty, they're all 18 degrees are amazing. But there's some really, obviously, I'm a little biased with chemical, but there's a lot of really interesting pairings that you could do with chemical engineering that really will broaden your horizon. So yeah, reach out to me. You guys can find me on LinkedIn, anna.davis@syngenta.com. We're here to help you along with thousands of alumni, so don't hesitate to reach out if you want advice or there's something I didn't cover today that you wanted to hear, okay?
Can we give Anna another big round of applause? Thank you very much. So class of 2027, welcome. We're so delighted that you're here. I hope you're taking away from this some of the really important messages that you heard from our dean, from Ms. Davis, from the interactions that you've now had with each other. I hope you feel that you're welcome here. I hope you know that you have a place here. And I hope that you're going to enjoy wonderful success in this first semester. So be well, take care, and go Wolfpack. Take care, y'all. Thank you.